I'm about to expose something that will make you furious. The finance industry has been lying to you for decades. They've been selling you books, courses, and advice that keeps you broke while making them rich. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Think about it. How many finance books have you read? 5? 10? 20? And where has it gotten you? If those books actually worked, wouldn't everyone who read them be wealthy by now? But they're not. In fact, most people who consume financial content are still struggling. That's not a coincidence. The truth is, finance books are designed to give you just enough information to feel smart, but not enough to actually build wealth. They're selling you the dream while keeping the real secrets locked away. And today, I'm going to reveal exactly what they're hiding from you. Let's start with the biggest lie they tell you. Save 10% of your income. Put it in a savings account. Watch it grow over time. This advice is literally everywhere. Every finance guru repeats it like gospel. But here's what they don't tell you. That advice was created in the 1950s when interest rates were 8 to 12%. Your money actually grew in a savings account back then. Today, savings accounts pay less than 1%. Meanwhile, inflation runs at 5 to 7% annually. You're losing 4 to 6% of your purchasing power every single year. Do the math. If you save $10,000 today at 1% interest, in 10 years you'll have about $11,000. But with 5% inflation, you'll need $15,000 just to buy what $10,000 buys today. You're going backwards while thinking you're being responsible. Why don't finance books tell you this? Because the banks who publish most of these books need your deposits. They use your savings to make loans at much higher interest rates. They're making money off your money while you lose purchasing power. It's a scam hiding in plain sight. Here's secret number 2 they won't tell you. The wealthy don't work for money. They make money work for them. But finance books tell you to climb the corporate ladder. Get promotions. Increase your salary. Work harder for more money. This keeps you trapped in the system. You trade time for money, which means your income is always limited by hours in the day. The wealthy understand something different. They buy assets that generate income without their direct involvement. What's an asset? It's anything that puts money in your pocket regularly. Rental properties. Dividend stocks. Businesses. Royalties. The wealthy focus on acquiring these, not on earning higher salaries. But finance books rarely explain this clearly because they want to keep you as an employee, not an owner. Think about who writes these finance books. Corporate executives. Investment bankers. Financial advisors. They all benefit from you staying in the employee mindset. If everyone became business owners, who would work for them? The system needs workers, so the books keep you working. Secret number 3 is even more shocking. Debt isn't always bad. I know that sounds crazy. Every finance book screams about getting out of debt. Pay off everything. Be debt-free. Live below your means. But wealthy people use debt strategically to build wealth faster. Here's how it works. If you can borrow money at 4% and invest it in something returning 10%, you're making 6% on someone else's money. This is called leverage, and it's how real wealth is built. Real estate investors do this constantly. They put down 20% and borrow 80% to buy properties that generate cash flow and appreciate in value. But finance books tell you all debt is evil. Why? Because if you understood good debt versus bad debt, you might actually build wealth. And that threatens the system. They want you paying off your mortgage early instead of using that money to buy income-producing assets. Consumer debt is bad. Credit cards at 20% interest for shoes and dinners? Terrible. But a business loan at 5% to start a company that generates $50,000 profit annually? That's smart. Finance books lump all debt together to keep you confused and scared. Let me tell you about secret number 4. Taxes are optional for the wealthy. Not illegal tax evasion, but legal tax avoidance. The tax code is written to reward business owners and investors, not employees. But finance books barely mention this. Employees pay the highest tax rates. In the United States, you can pay up to 37% federal tax plus state taxes. That's nearly half your income gone. But business owners and investors have hundreds of legal deductions and strategies to reduce their tax burden to 15% or less. Why don't finance books explain this in detail? Because most are written by and for employees. They assume you'll always be an employee, so they don't bother teaching you the tax strategies that actually matter. This keeps you paying maximum taxes while the wealthy legally minimize theirs. The wealthy hire accountants and tax attorneys who know every loophole. They structure their income as capital gains instead of wages. They write off business expenses. They use retirement accounts strategically. They defer taxes legally. But you'll never learn these strategies from mainstream finance books. Secret number 5 will blow your mind. Diversification is a trap. Every finance book tells you to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your money across many investments. Sounds smart, right? Wrong. Diversification is what you do when you don't know what you're doing. Warren Buffett himself said diversification is protection against ignorance. The wealthy concentrate their investments in areas they understand deeply. They become experts in real estate, or stocks, or businesses, and they go deep. Think about it. If you spread your money across 20 different investments, you can't possibly understand all of them well. You're guaranteed to have mediocre returns. But if you focus on becoming an expert in one or two areas, you can achieve exceptional returns. Finance books push diversification because it's safe advice. They can't be blamed if your diversified portfolio underperforms. But it also guarantees you'll never get rich. You'll get average returns, which means you'll stay average. The system wants you average and predictable. Here's secret number 6 that really makes me angry. Retirement is a scam. Not the concept of stopping work eventually, but the way it's sold to you. Finance books tell you to save for 40 years, live frugally, and then maybe you can retire at 65. This is insane. You're trading the best years of your life for a promise that you might have enough money when you're old. Meanwhile, the wealthy retire in their 30s and 40s because they build assets that generate passive income. They don't wait for permission from a 401k. The retirement industry is worth trillions of dollars. Financial advisors, mutual fund companies, and banks all profit from you deferring your dreams for decades. They want your money locked up in retirement accounts where they can charge fees year after year. That's why finance books push this narrative so hard. What they don't tell you is that you can build enough passive income to retire in 5 to 10 years if you focus on assets instead of savings. Buy rental properties that generate cash flow. Build online businesses. Create intellectual property. These strategies can set you free decades earlier than traditional retirement planning. Secret number 7 is the most important. Financial education is deliberately kept complicated. Have you noticed how confusing finance books are? All the jargon, complex formulas, and technical terms? That's intentional. They want you to feel stupid so you'll hire experts and pay fees. The truth is, building wealth is simple. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference in assets that generate income. Reinvest that income to buy more assets. Repeat for years. That's it. But if finance books told you that, you wouldn't buy their advanced courses or hire their services. They create complexity to justify their existence. Mutual funds with expense ratios, load fees, and redemption fees. Investment strategies with Greek letters like alpha and beta. Retirement accounts with contribution limits and withdrawal penalties. It's all designed to confuse you into paying for help you don't actually need. The wealthy keep it simple. They understand the basics deeply and execute consistently. They don't need complicated strategies because simple strategies work when you stick with them long enough. But finance books would rather sell you complexity than teach you consistency. So what should you do with this information? First, stop buying finance books written by people who profit from keeping you broke. Second, focus on financial education from people who actually built wealth, not people who teach about wealth. Third, start acquiring assets immediately, even small ones. Buy 1 share of dividend stock. Save for a down payment on a rental property. Start a side business. Take action on what you now know instead of consuming more content. The finance industry wants you learning forever and doing never. Reverse that. Do more, learn less. Remember, every day you wait is a day you're letting the system keep you trapped. The secrets I've shared today aren't complex. They're just hidden. Now you know them. The question is, what will you do about it? Will you go back to the comfortable lies in finance books, or will you start building real wealth using the truth? The choice is yours. But understand this. The finance industry doesn't want you to succeed. They want you to stay dependent on their advice, their products, their services. Breaking free means rejecting their narrative and following the path the wealthy actually take. It's not easy, but it's simple. And now you know exactly what they've been hiding from you all along.